Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Mortgage Boss Podcast. My name is James J. Today, we are going to talk with my man, Edward Wang, EW and Associates. What's up, Edward? How are you, man?
Good. How's it going, James?
Well, we got a lot to talk about because you have, interestingly enough, just opened up your own brokerage, and then the world goes to crap.
It's okay.
Great timing. Now, and I want you to talk about this because this is one of the things that I love that you did, and we're going to talk more about the fact that you did just open up your own brokerage, but timing, right? Because everybody thinks that people are like waiting for time to do stuff, like the right time. To me, I'm like, just do it, right? But I want you. We'll get into a little bit about why you decided to open your own brokerage, but introduce people to yourself, man. Let us know a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the fact you did just open up your own brokerage. I'm excited to talk to you about that, and then trying to help some people out because there's a lot going on, obviously, in our market in the real estate industry right now. So
It is. Yes. So, hi everyone. My name is Edward Wang. I graduated from University of Texas with a computer science degrees, and I started as a computer engineer, and then move on into social sales consultant, sales engineer consultant. So, a lot of people asking, why are you doing the real estate?
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix. Well, the thing is, I grew up from a real estate family. Okay, so my father was a builder. Okay, and then I have a lot of awesome mentors around me. Okay, one of the biggest mentor that I have was Mr. Kenneth Lee from the Southwest Realty.
Okay.
He's a big shot in the builder area.
Okay.
And also a lot of mentors from peers like you guys. I always I always learn great things from everybody around me, from the insurance agents, from the mortgage lender, officer, everybody.
Yeah.
Even from the inspectors. Okay, so it's always a great learning experience for me. Okay, so I got my real estate license in about 2004. And
that's exactly when I got licensed too. So
I wasn't really active until 2015.
Okay.
And I'm kind of glad that happened because coming from a computer science background, right? I was very introverted. I don't want to social with anybody.
Right. Yeah.
I want to stay in my cubicle. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anyone.
Right.
I just want to do my programming, right?
Yeah.
So back then, my dad was like, hey, you kind of have to expose yourself out a little bit, So I started to got myself into the support team, and then moving into the consultants, sales engineer. Sales engineer.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I kind of love it because with the sales consultant job I had back then, I kind of travel around the globe.
Okay.
And then I traveled, I want to say pretty much every city in the United States already.
Wow.
So I can kind of, my utilization back then was about 98%. So I'm always flying.
Right.
I'm back home for my laundry.
The good old days, ever where you could fly.
Yes. But then again, it's so all these flying, traveling, it gives me a lot of exposures in the real estate as well. It's like it's kind of like the real estate. It's tattooed in here. Okay, so it doesn't matter what career I'm doing.
Right.
When I'm out there, I'm always looking at how much is this piece of property right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm always looking at commercial. I'm always looking at the residential. So it's interesting.
Yeah, so you're kind of like I was because before I went full time into real estate years ago, even before I got on the mortgage side of the business, I was doing pharmaceutical sales, and I would always talk about real estate all the time. And I was licensed at that time as a realtor back then. I wasn't, but I was part time too, just like you initially. So I would everywhere I went, I was always talking about real estate. And so I had the same mentality. So you're traveling everywhere. You're, I guess, at all these places that you're traveling at that point, you're just looking at real estate all over the place, which kind of, I'm assuming, just kind of really just stoking your fire even more at this point.
Right. So basically, everywhere I go, I always check out the real estate. So I'm always looking at the local economics. Like
Yes.
the retailers, everything.
Yeah.
So and then there was a time that I'm actually doing some type of I was doing some retail consulting. And then so basically making sure that all the displays are doing are displayed properly. So in
Um,
a way, it's a lot of fun experience for me back
yeah.
then.
Absolutely.
And then one thing I really appreciate all these opportunities I had in the past, in the back was the nice thing about it is like I graduated as a computer science degrees, right, and then work as a software developer. So specs is always something that's very important for me. So
Okay.
I always listen to my clients' need. Okay, and
Oh, so when you said specs, hold on, we got to be clear. We're not
yeah,
talking about the liquor store.
no, not
I'm
that.
like, where are we going with this? Ever you
No,
like
no,
specs? That's cool.
no.
I
Like
like specs too. Okay, you're talking about specifics
specification.
as to what people want.
Exactly.
All right, just to
So,
be clear, so people don't think, why is this guy talking about specs, the liquor store?
right.
Okay, you're
Right.
talking
So
about specifically what people are looking for in their real estate.
exactly. So
Gotcha.
like the way how I'm looking at it, it's like paying attention to what people need is very
Yes,
important. Okay.
yes,
So that's how I when I got back into real estate in 2015, everything
yeah,
just went fine.
yeah,
And then it's interesting that actually even now sometimes all of my friends that comes over to me and then they're just interested in buying a house, right?
yes,
Sometimes they're like, hey Ed, I see that in your past transactions, you don't show more than 5 houses and you close the deal.
yeah. I am so with you, dude. It drives me nuts where I hear people like, I mean, because for me on the buy side, I mean, I talk to realtors all the time, and I hear some realtors say, "Oh, I show this person, 30 houses." I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I tell buyers, like, if your realtor's showing you 30 homes, I know there's some situations where maybe you've got an out of town buyer, they know nothing about the area, right? I
Right.
get that. You may show them a little more few more homes, but if you're having to show 30 and 40 homes, you are not doing your job well. I'm sorry. I can speak on this because you're just not doing your job very well. If you're showing that many homes, it's just ridiculous. So anyway, go ahead. Go ahead with your point.
So really, I mean, like if you listen, right, you're able to scope down the criteria, and
Yes.
then you're able to save people a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Including your time, my time, everybody's time.
For sure. Yes.
Exactly. And then the way how I've been looking at so many houses. A lot of time, most of the houses they all look pretty much similar.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah.
And then another aspect that got me thrive in 2015 was that I myself I own a couple of the investment properties myself. So
Okay. Is commercial or residential?
residential mostly.
Okay.
Commercial pretty soon. I'm thinking about investing some commercial soon.
Okay.
For now, I do have a lot of rental properties out there,
Yeah.
and so basically back then, when you still have the opportunity to buy some single family homes for under $100,000.
Right. Right.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
So I mortgage out. It's like what $200 $200 a month. I can
Yeah.
lease for like $1,200 now.
Yeah.
So it's a huge cash flow right there. And then people are like, are you going to pay that off? I'm like, yeah, I'm just taking my time.
Yeah.
This money go somewhere else, invest in something else, So then again, I have a lot of properties like this. And then the people saw that this model that I have.
Right.
Okay. So they are like, hey, Ed, I'm interested about this property right here. Can you do the calculation for me? So we sat down together. We do the math. And then it turns out to be great, And then I told him that a lot of time when you buy into investment properties, you want to look at 3 most expensive fix. Okay, your roof, your foundation,
Yeah.
your AC.
Right.
That's the 3 expensive out of the pocket right away.
Absolutely. All the other stuff is relatively easy.
Yes.
I mean, it's relatively easy. Cosmetic stuff. I mean, unless there's something going on plumbing, that's that could get a little expensive. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The roof, the AC unit, and the foundation are like the centerpieces. Everything else you can kind of work with for the most part.
Yeah, everything's very cosmetic.
Right.
You can get, you can fix it up and then turn around, lease it out, and sell it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So
well, let me ask you this, since we're talking about this, Edward, because I know you do a lot you've got your own investments. You work with a lot of investors. I do know that. what do you say for somebody that might be interested in investing? Like, what are your thoughts on the environment right now for investing? You know, on the mortgage side for us, you know, it's a little more challenging for these investors to get those loans, but there's still money available. And this is even for, you know, residential purchases. I mean, everything's changed a little. The market's changed on the residential and commercial, but from a investment side, I want you to speak on this part for somebody that might be thinking, you know what, I'm wondering, because I know I get this question. Do you think it's a good time to buy residential or even investment property? And I tell people, absolutely, it's a good time.
Right. Well, definitely. Right now, it's an amazing time to purchase real estate. Okay. But then again, I also want to educate the buyers. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't lowball. Okay.
You
You get a good value. That's
right.
Good. So for you know, I'm actually a lot of my very successful investors. Okay. So they're really well, I mean, they're capable of doing this because they're doing some of the 1031 exchange.
Right.
So basically every piece of property that they're looking at, okay, as long as it fits a price range.
Yeah.
You know, so you know they don't want to waste too much time on it because there's the timeline on it. So they want to buy it.
So
fix it up,
real quick, for people that may not understand what a 1031 tax exchange is, explain to people what that is, how that benefits the investors from essentially. I'll let you explain it. But essentially, they're taking one property that they sold, maybe they made a bunch of money, and they're putting it into another one.
Yes. So basically, like when you have a okay, so 1031 is pretty much allows you to exchange equal or like type of investments, right?
Right.
So for the real estate that'll be properties. So this can be commercial properties, rental properties. You know, it's properties.
Yeah.
So the benefit of this program is it actually allows you to defer your tax.
Yes.
Okay. So so a lot of time when somebody have an investment property, mostly in the commercial real estate, you know, they have a huge increase on the property value.
Right.
If you can sell it, but you know, after you sell the property, there's a huge tax right there.
Yes. If you so if you don't take that money, for people to understand that 1031 tax exchange, because everybody doesn't understand what that is. I mean, you make 50, 60, 70, 80 grand off of a property. Well, if you don't take that money and put it into another piece of property, Uncle Sam's going to come knocking at your door and saying, hey, give me a piece of that. Essentially is what this does. It eliminates you being able to, or being able to having it, or I should say eliminate it. It puts it off is what it does.
Right.
Because at some point, unless you just keep the property forever, and some people will, they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Otherwise, Uncle Sam comes and says, hey, give me a piece of that. So 1031 tax exchange, that's what I was talking about for people that may not understand what that is. So so you got people doing 1031s, and then they've got a certain time frame. That's the other thing you had mentioned. There's a certain time frame after you make that money where you have to go buy something else before Uncle Sam says, hey, give me some of that money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, you just defer the tax out.
Yep.
So so basically, you know, you can get some very good deals right now.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, just I want to say when you work with your realtor, you do know that you know every piece of property somebody owns it.
Yes.
You know they did pay for it. So you know you can get a good price. But you know, if you try to lowball, yes, I know that everybody wants to maximize their, the money that they can spend, right?
Yeah,
but then,
absolutely.
It just the real world doesn't work like that sometimes. Unless that person's desperately, you know, needing to sell the property, or you know, it's on a foreclosure, you know.
Yeah. And there are times where you can get a great deal. I mean, there are times like that, but you as a professional know, and that's, you know, your job to let people know, listen, this we be, if, and it also depends on how bad do you want this particular property. But yeah, I mean, the lowballing, again, TV has a way of putting people their mindset into, oh, they flipped this house, they got it for, you know, 50 cents or 40 cents on the dollar. Which does happen. Doesn't happen a lot that way, but there are deals like that out there. Are there a lot of them? I guess it really depends on the area, but for the most part, I don't think there's a ton of deals out there where you're getting in on 20, 30 cents on the dollar. So,
Yeah.
if you're going to make money, again, like you said, I know people want to make the most money they can. I get it completely. But there's a time where it's like, okay, I'm going to make whatever. I'm going to make 20% on what I paid for to 30%. And then it's just like, they keep doing it over and over again. And you're gonna make your money, but I understand. Like I used to have people do that when I was a realtor. It just the low ball and it drives you crazy. But anyway, so you recently opened. I want you to talk about this because I'm kind of teased this in the beginning when we started here about you opening up your own brokerage. Obviously, we didn't know any of this was going to happen, but what was this, like 2 months, or how long has it been since you've had your own brokerage?
Actually, I started. I want to say on kind of like laying down the basic my corporate documents, everything,
Right.
roughly around like mid-February. So
Okay.
this is already kind of happening right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm looking at it as like it's a perfect opportunity for me
Yeah.
because I know that the real estate is going to be slow somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's a perfect opportunity for me to build infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay, so coming from an IT background, I stress a lot on the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Documentation is
Yes.
the most important thing. I mean, seriously, like I have buyer, from 2015 asked me, "Hey Ed, do you still happen to have a copy of the survey for my property?" I was like, "Yeah, here you go."
Yeah, you are organized.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, something like that, I was able to help them save like another $500-$600.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's great though, but you everything, especially in real estate, man. It is system. So I've had some really, really awesome coaches over the years, and it boils down to having the system. Like the system needs to run everything.
Right.
Whether you like Michael Gerber, who wrote this book called The E-Myth years ago, great book because it talks about you building your business, and you're at that stage in the beginning right now, building it. And in the book, essentially, it's like build this business like you're going to hire 500 people.
Exactly.
That's how even if you're not, it's just putting in those systems to where you can say, I'm going to hire this person and you got a system up and running and get them up and running just like that. So, but you're right. Yeah. I mean, I love your mentality and mindset to think that right now is a good thing because you have this time to kind of get your structure in place. And once this thing is over, whenever that happens, nobody knows. But once it's over, I believe we're going to be really busy. Just my thought, and probably my wish as well. But you figure there's a lot of people that pulled their house off the market. There's a lot of buyers that either said they were going to buy and then this hit and then they backed off. I know it's happened. I've lost deals because of it. I know a lot of people have lost business because people have either been furloughed, laid off, or they're just unsure. And on your side, you've got sellers where they might have, and I don't know how many, if it's happened to you where you've had a seller pull their house off the market because they didn't want anybody coming in yet. But I hear a lot of this. So what does it look like on your end working with buyers and sellers right now?
So working with the buyers, I do have a lot of buyers that's currently they're currently in the rentals properties, right? So several of them are in the apartments. There's because of this whole entire COVID-19 right now going on. So a lot of these buyers with the family, they're kind of dislike the heavy trafficked area. So like a highly congested area where you have a common, like a stairwell, elevators. So a lot of them, they're thinking about coming out, moving to a single family home.
Okay.
So the way I'm looking at it right now, it's like a lot of houses. I want to say for a family to live in, 250,000 up and down to 200,000. Those are very attractive.
Still moving. Yeah, that's right. It's still moving. Okay.
So for the luxury real estate, it's still going because those people, they have so much money, they don't care.
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
then
it may be a little bit more challenging. I know on the jumbo side, on the mortgage
yeah,
side of things,
yes,
jumbo loans, yeah, they're still available.
hmm
The pool of people that are offering jumbo has definitely shrank
yeah,
significantly. And then the requirements change. But, when you're looking at jumbo type loans, usually it's people that are going to have, the money, they're going to have the assets, they're going to have the credit scores to be able to still qualify. So that does make sense for that market to not be greatly affected. But then again, you've got a lot of people that are business owners, or they're in oil and gas, which is a whole
yeah.
nother story. We can do a whole show on oil and gas right now, but I don't want to depress anybody anymore, especially for us in Houston, because it's a huge part of our economy here.
Well,
So
I want to say, even though right now, we have a hit in the oil and gas,
yeah,
but then again, it's the way think of it for investors. It's
yeah,
a perfect opportunity to invest.
yes,
When do you see oil,
yeah,
investment low?
absolutely.
This is kind of
Never. It's never
this,
happened.
yeah, this smells to me like a once in a lifetime
Yeah,
opportunity.
it is. I mean,
So yes, there's downside and there's also a bright side of it.
yep,
So yes, I came from the corporate world. It's funny that I worked for a company, and then a large software company, and then one of my colleagues, he worked for that company for 20 years, and then he was like, "Hey Ed, we're never gonna get laid off." And I was, "Are you sure about that?"
yeah,
'Cause I saw the roster. You and I were next.
yeah,
but then
never.
again, yeah, it's really depending on I think carrying a positive mentality, in a downtime
Yeah,
will help you go through a lot. Yes, this might affect a lot of jobs, but then
yeah,
again, it might be a good opportunity for you to sit back, rethink of
yes.
what's another opportunity for you.
Reflecting. Yeah, I've been doing a ton of reflecting, and I've been talking about this a lot over the last several weeks, talking to other people, talking to other agents. So, one of the things I know, you are a huge, huge fitness guy, you and your wife for that matter, um, and me too. Obviously, we have been we've been hurting, shutting down our community for the last 5 weeks or so. So, what are you guys doing? I know you guys do some online stuff. Now, listen, I love online workouts. I'm glad everybody's doing it. The crazy thing is, like, that first few weeks, once this happened, like, nothing was going on. Nobody was doing any workouts. That first week or two, there was nothing.
Mhm.
Probably in the first 3 weeks. And I think we were all thinking, okay, we're going to be getting back soon. Like, so nobody was even really thinking about doing an online workout. But you think, like, the first 2 or 3 weeks after we were told, stay home, there was nobody doing anything online.
Yeah. Well,
So, you
James,
guys doing? Because I'm going a little crazy.
for me, it's a different story because I want to say around last year around this time, right? I was
Yeah.
about 230 pounds, you know.
Wow.
So like I mean, like kids are getting a little bit older now, so I don't have to
Yeah.
kind of like autopilot right now. So I'm finally have a chance to get into the this workout routine, and that's why you see me at Lifetime all the time doing the
I
cycling.
did not know that.
Yeah, so just from that time to now, I lost roughly around I want to say roughly around 70 pounds. Yeah.
Wow, Edward, that is so awesome. So,
Yeah.
dude, I had no idea. And I just interviewed, by the way, Chris,
Uh-huh.
who is a
Oh, Chris is
swim guy.
amazing. Yes.
Dude, just that interview, it's coming out next week. I'm going for a little bit of a tangent, but next week that's going to come out. Chris is amazing, and people, yeah,
Yeah.
people will be really inspired. It's a great story, but I didn't know that. So, you turned into a monster. So for people to understand how much you work out, and sometimes it's more than once a day.
Yeah.
uh,
So
I see you guys all the time.
I
And
spend. I
yeah,
usually wake up very early. I do work out roughly around an hour to two a
yeah,
day.
yeah,
That phase. So
yeah.
one thing I encourage people to have is have some kind of smartwatch to keep you accountable.
Yes.
So they're in this entire crisis right now, right?
Yeah.
So So from last April till now, I haven't been, there's not a single day I stopped exercising.
Right.
So when the time gym closed, I'm like, this is not gonna stop me. I'm gonna download some apps. I'm gonna do some exercise.
And listen, obviously there's so many things that we can do
Yes.
at home, online. It's not ideal. I get it. I feel it. It's not the same. There's no community. I don't care. But
You gotta do what you have to do for yourself.
your mind, yes. And listen, I am not acting as if I've worked out. My workout schedule has been completely checked up. So what I would normally do if we were in a normal situation, what I normally do and what I've been doing since it's been night and day. It just has. So I think for that first week or two, I was kind of in denial. I think a lot of people were just like, okay, like what's really like, we're going to go back, everything's going to be back to normal next week. And then week 3 and then week 4. And it's like, oh, hold on. Like this is, this is real. Like we're not going back like right now. Like this is going to be longer than we think. And here we are now, week 5 going into week 6. And so, but really we haven't seen any of the online stuff for the people that we know. Really, it's really probably been about the last 3 weeks. That first 2 or 3 weeks, there was really not a whole lot. So my workout routine has definitely been jacked up, but I love your mentality. I really do. That it doesn't matter if I have a gym or not. And this goes for everybody. Listen, there's things you can do. You can walk outside the door. And I've been talking about this a lot too, just being outside because there's so many more people outside right now. Number one, everybody's going outside, or a lot of people are. So I've got to meet a lot of my neighbors that I hadn't met before because everybody's outside. There's nowhere else to go. Yep. So it is so important, though, that people just not stop and just sit around all day long and watch CNN and because it's depressing. It really is. Not watching necessarily just watching the news, but just sitting for so long and not getting your mind, getting your brain some activity, even if it's literally walking around the block. Is just something about being outside. And this is not my opinion. This is science about being outdoors specifically and how it affects and how it improves your mood. It improves so many things. So I love your mentality. And I know you guys, you and just both of you guys are workout fanatics, which is pretty cool. That you and your wife are that way. That's cool. So you guys have been managing through this. One of the other things I wanted to ask you real quick, real estate agents, I believe a lot of them are going to get out of the business right now because there's so many people that have license and, they're not necessarily in it like you are. This is what you do. This is your business. Some people just have a license. Actually, a lot of people just have a license. And I'm not going to get on my tangent or my rant about real estate agents and licenses. But what do you think as far as what's going to happen? You think a lot of people are going to end up getting out? Because I think the number of agents, realtors in Houston is going to shrink because of this.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Well, the thing is, that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
So we all know that real estate agent, when you first start out, it's a huge challenge.
It is. Yeah.
So you have an agent that's able to sell one house a year, right? Well, not even one. Okay, and then you have agents that's just happen to be selling, making a killing out of it.
Yeah.
So then again, it's a cycle. Maybe next year that person that sells that one house, like 10 houses, and then that person that sells 10 houses end up selling one house, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's ebbs and flows in the business. I understand. And everybody doesn't work it like a business, which is to me, it's just it's. And I didn't learn that lesson until years into it. Like, if you want, everybody doesn't want a business. Let's be real. Like, some people just want to have a license for when maybe they go buy a house or, a family member. It is what it is.
And again, if you have that mentality, all these association fees that you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's you calculate it. It doesn't make sense at all.
I agree.
It's a mentality that this is going to be my business.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do. I love this business because the chances I get to. the fact that I get to see different type of properties, it's one
Yes.
thing I love.
Yeah.
Okay, and then helping people getting a home, that's another
Yeah.
thing. So and then so I'm starting my own company so I can build my own business. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
why I wanted to ask you about that. So, started your own business. Obviously, you could have gone anywhere. You're doing very well in the business, so you could have gone to one of the big boys. So, did you even weigh that as an option, or you knew
I did.
I
I did.
wanted to do my own thing?
So a lot of there are many prestigious brokerage
Yeah.
reaching out to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm kind of like thinking. Then I'm like, you know what? If it's something, I mean, I'm a broker,
Yeah.
so if I build something, I'm going to make sure that I want to keep it this way. So
Yeah.
like the company I'm building right now, I'm not expecting to grow like 100 agents right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to slowly agent coming to me. We'll discuss, we'll talk about like how you work.
Yeah.
So seriously, I really want it's a service industry. I want every agent in my house to have the mentality that you're here to serve people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then yes, and it's very important. It's not just about selling a house. It's about helping people finding the property, helping people making money. That's the most important thing.
Listen, so I do a lot of I'm in sales, so I'm a lot of mental and sales books, and Zig Ziglar always talks about, and it's true. I don't even think it's really cliche. I mean, if you're in real estate and mortgage like we are, just in sales period, but he always talks about, you help enough other people get what they want, you're gonna get what you want. It's true, man. It is so true.
Yes.
And if you, especially in this business, so it can't be about me. It's a very lucrative business. You're right. I get it. I know. But instead of looking at the money, it's like, okay, who can I actually serve today? Who can I help?
Exactly.
Who can, and I swear I live by, how many people can I help? Because the more people I can help, the more I'm going to help myself. It's true. It's 100% true.
Yes.
So I love your mentality. You're kind of putting that culture in place now.
Yes. So service industry, you're serving people. You're servicing people. So I remember there was a book, but I read it a long time ago. Okay, I don't remember the author. I'm very bad at it. But I think the title of the book is called The Servant.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it's about a group of executives. Okay. Getting together, and then finally they learn the beauty of serving people, and then how it reflects their business.
Yeah.
So I if you guys happen to see that book, I highly recommend that book right there. I love it.
You guys know it definitely comes through for people. If you're looking to get into a home, or if you're a realtor, maybe, I don't know, reach out to Edward, because I know you guys. I know you personally. I know your wife. You guys are freaking amazing. Your mentality, and I didn't even know, honestly, I didn't even know about the weight thing, which even makes you even more appealing to me. And I already love you guys, but your mentality and the culture that you're putting in place at your company already is just, it's smart to get that foundation put in place now. And as you start bringing on more and more people, just keeping that as the centerpiece of the business. And I love the fact that you've already got that mentality set. So for people that are looking, what is the best way? I've got your website. What's the best way? Is it to text you, social media?
Yeah, social media. I'm on Instagram. Okay, Realtor Edward Wang, and then on my page has my contact information. The number I have here is 281-817-8868.
Yeah.
And I mean, just reach out to me. I usually return your call right away.
Yes. No, you're great about that, and I appreciate our personal and business relationship, because we've known each other for a while before we ever really did business. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I am very much looking forward to us all being at our community, our fitness community, getting back together again, because that is a huge part of my life, and I know you and Jess as well. So, and in the meantime, as you start to build more, if you've got something going on with your company, I would love to have you come back on. We can talk about things again as this pandemic comes to I would say to an end. I don't know when that's going to happen, but at least starts to ease up to where we can start getting out and about a little more than we have. I would love to have you come back on. We can continue to chat, talk about the industry in the end of summer. It's crazy because I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Are we going to have a normal summer? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if we still have to stay in, I mean, it's depressing. I know.
I hope I don't want to think about that.
But just think, try to stay positive all the time.
Yeah.
Think about the time opportunity of the time that you get to spend with the family.
Yes.
And then working, things together and teaching kids, and then and then you appreciate teacher a lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Oh man, the teachers love you if you are a teacher. Oh my goodness. It is such a difficult thing to do. And yeah, you are right on. When you don't have the ability to drop the kids off for 7 hours and have the teacher, because the reality is my daughter's in 6th grade. I don't know math. I don't know 6th grade math. I'm sorry. I don't know it. I don't know how they do stuff anymore. It's so different than the way my 6th grade was. So, now they have to, listen, thank God for my wife, because I'm not the math guy. I'm the English guy. I'm the writing guy. My wife is the science and the math. So my kids know if it's a math problem, don't ask me. Unless it's simple division, subtraction, or addition, do not ask me. So we got separate.
There's always YouTube and Google, right?
Absolutely, and Google. Yeah, I'm like, baby, you better call Google, call Siri, because Daddy doesn't know.
So aside of this, it's also a good time for everybody to kind of like sit back, think about what's been going on, how you can do something that's benefit for yourself, for your health. Sit back, rethink. What can I use my time better? How can I utilize my time better? I know that right now we just sit at home watching television all day.
It's
Netflix, Hulu. But sometimes just get up. I mean, your health is very important. So there's one thing I learned is if you cannot learn to manage your own health, how can you help other people? Right,
dude, that is so spot on. Yeah, Chris and I were talking about this too, because he was very, very overweight at one point, and it got to a point where he just took control. But we were talking about exactly about what you just said about you loving you
yes,
first.
Yeah.
And I say it when I'm teaching, I'm always talking about you got to love you more than everybody else first, right? You got to love you because you're dealing with you and you're talking to you all day long.
and your body is your own temple.
Yeah. And so 100%, man. I mean, I am 100% with you on that and could not agree with you more. People, taking care of yourself. But I understand this is very, very challenging. It's never happened before in the history. We've never dealt with this before. And a lot of people are going to be hurting after this, but why do extra damage? Okay. If you've been furloughed or you don't have a job or whatever the case may be, do extra damage by not taking care of your body as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
That's like a double whammy.
So I mean, just think of it like the market's back up, everybody's going back to work, and then you don't have the health to work. That's So try to just 30 minutes. I mean, I remember like a couple months ago, I actually watched this video that Arnold said, you know,
Um,
you have 24 hours a day. You cannot spend 30 minutes a day, for your body.
yeah, Arnold. So Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a great for people. And I think a lot of people don't know
Huh?
how freaking disciplined this guy was
Yes.
before he became what people know. This is way before that. How disciplined he was when he first was started. I've listened to his whole story. I've seen it on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys don't know what Edward's talking about, look up Arnold Schwarzenegger, probably on YouTube. Like you could probably just find it. He talks about what he used to do way before anybody knew who he was, even before he came to the States. He was like going, or actually, I think right when he came to the States, because he was doing acting. He was, or going to acting school at that time. He was doing his weightlifting too, and then I think he was going to school to learn English, and it just freaking amazing how disciplined he was. And he's right. Like we all have the same time. Like there's no extra. Like Bill Gates doesn't get 28 hours. I mean, he doesn't. The Rock doesn't get 29 hours. Although if anybody could ever, it might be The Rock. He might be able to negotiate something to get an extra 4 hours in his day or 5 hours in his day. But yeah, I mean, you're spot on. We all have the same time, man. It's nothing special. It's just what are we doing with it? If you want to watch Netflix, and the Tiger King every episode. I still don't get the appeal of the Tiger King, by the way. I have not seen it at all. But
everybody's talking about it.
I know it's kind of hard not to, because you hear about it all the time. But I have not watched it at all. But I'd rather read a book, honestly, than watch television. That's just me. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you so much, Edward. Lots of great information, man. I appreciate you. Again, once this kind of comes to an end here, if you got whatever you got going on, man, come on, let's talk, let's chat, let's talk. If I can help you with anything, you know I'm here. And yeah, you guys go follow Edward. All his information is right there. Instagram, reach out to him. And if you're a realtor, you got a question, or maybe you want to see what Edward has to offer. Great dude.
Okay. Thank you, James.
So.
Thank you, James.
All right, guys. Well, listen, Mortgage Boss TV. Thank you guys for watching. Go check me out as well. YouTube, mortgagebosstv.com. That is actually the YouTube channel. And if you guys have any questions on the mortgage side, reach out to me. You got questions on the real estate side, you reach out to Edward. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate you guys.
Have a good one.
All right, man. You too.
Stay healthy. Stay safe, okay?
You too. All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Go check Edward out.